Okay, tubers. I'm stringing up these tomatoes, and I just thought I'd show you how I do it. It's a little different than what you may have seen. I don't use the yo-yos. I'm trying to do this as inexpensively as possible. I've kind of made my own yo-yo system for stringing these tomatoes up. And I also use the one stem method on these. These are the first set are Brandywine and Rutgers, then it's Rutgers, and got a few Romas, a couple paste tomatoes in this row, but I'll show you how I string them up. First of all, I buy a big box of these. This string, this thing was probably $10 for 5,000 feet. And I went to Walmart and bought some cheap tomato tie. This is basically like a twist tie material, and I just cut it into lengths about this long. See how that is, about maybe 3 inches. And that's all I use. And I'll show you how I string them up here in just a second. Each string goes up over my support system and back down, and I tie a loop into the string that's tied to the base of the tomato, and then I use that as my yo-yo pivot, or my yo-yo point. Basically, I can adjust by pulling up and down on that string as the plant grows. Take my string, throw it over, bring it down, and I tie it to the base of the plant. Alright, I hope you can see this. I tie it down around right around the main stem, and at the first or second healthy branch, right underneath it. And I tie it really loosely. I don't tie it tight around there. There's a pretty good gap. See if you can see that. I've tied it around right below the second healthy stem here, and I've tied it really loosely. I've tied a knot in it so that there's plenty of play in that. I'll come up and pull this string tight, the one that's coming from the base of that plant, and put a little loop in here and just tie it off to make it a knot and a loop. See the loop? We got a nice loop there, and it's good and tight. What I want to do is pull the string down. It's up over the top. Make sure you can see that. Pull that down tight. Give me about 5 inches so I can use that to tie to the loop. I'll cut it about right here. See how much difference, how long that is from there? Anyway, I'm gonna cut that. Make sure I get that perpendicular to the ground from the top, so it strings nice and straight. Cut off about 5 or 6 inches. I'm going to loop it through. That loop I created, and just tie it off, but I tie it so that I can untie it. I just put almost like a bow that you would put on your shoe. Just a loop string. Now I've got a support for my tomato plant. As it grows up, we're going to use these ties and support it. And I do the same way I did the knot at the bottom. I'm going to leave a lot of slack so that this thing can just kind of grow straight up the plant. With the plant. Go straight up with the plant. You see I've got a sucker here. It's a big one. I waited a little too long to cut it, but just cut it right off. Cut all the suckers off so that I have one stem going all the way up the plant. See how I got that? Put one more support right up here and it'll be good to go. Left plenty of slack so that the girth of the stem can grow as it goes up that string.